17. At this time, I call the City of Grantville Council into session. At this time, I'd ask Mr. Mallory if you would lead us in an invocation, and when he completes that, if everyone would remain standing, join me in the pledge, I appreciate it.
Let's go for Lord prayer. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the stage you bless us with. Father, we thank you for blessing our town, watching our town. Father, we pray for your guidance for this meeting. Father, we pray for your liberty, for guidance for your decisions. We pray for your presence would be felt. Father, we pray that you guide our mayor, our council, our city manager, our city attorney. Father, we pray that you bless each one that came this way tonight. Father, we bless them in their homes. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. I'd like to welcome everybody to the council meeting. And first order of business will be the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do we have any questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, so ordered. Next order of business will be the approval of the minutes for the regular meeting of August 14th, 2017. Have a motion to accept the minutes as published.
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion second, do we have any questions concerning the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, so ordered. Next order of business be old business. This will be the second reading of ordinance number 2017-2 to adopt the fiscal year 2017-2018 budget for the City of Grantville. Mr. Greasecaper,
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor and council members, as you know, this is our second reading of the budget. We've gone over the budget, we've had public hearings, we've had budget workshops. The most important thing is that we have a balanced budget for fiscal year 2017-2018, both in the general fund and utility funds. And we'd ask for your approval.
We've heard the city manager's comments. Do we have a motion to adopt the ordinance 2017-2?
So moved.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second, do we have any questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, so ordered. Next order of business will be a recommendation of the Streets and Public Works Committee to establish a little free library in the City of Grantville. 2-1. Whatever that is. Vote, I guess it was. 2-1.
Yes, sir. It came out of the committee with a vote of 2-1. The city clerk has distributed the minutes of the meeting. They are there for your reading pleasure. There was some vigorous discussion about the little free library, and certainly it is a decision for the city council whether or not to locate a little free library in the city of Grantville.
Okay, what's the will of the council?
Make a motion to approve the Street and Public Works Committee to establish a little free library in the city.
Okay, I have a motion to approve the recommendation of the Streets and Public Works Committee. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Have a motion, I have a second. Do we have any questions or discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I would just like to say, the little free library and the tutoring box both educational tools for our children and young adults. So I just have concerns that how do we justify finding a place for the free little library and not finding a place for the tutoring box? Now, with that said, I believe we will paint a picture of solidarity by placing the free little library in the hands of the Recreation Advisory Board and give them time to report back to the city manager of their decision. Reason being, this came out in the paper on October the 14th. It says the city is also considering the tutoring box in Grantville, which is a program on the local non-profit Edify Me. Executive Director Trina Glenn was at the meeting to explain the concept of having high school mentees as reading tutors for at-risk children. I want to catch our children while they are young, Glenn said. Edify Teens was established about 15 years ago. Glenn said Grantville would be the first city to have the tutoring box, but the organization has been active in Newnan. Glenn said she chose Grantville after noticing the empty library. I want children to learn the fundamentals of reading and writing, she added. The tutoring would be free, and Glenn said there were certified teachers on the board. The city would have to provide electricity for the tutoring, which would last about 45 minutes. A location has to be approved by the Director of Public Works. Council members were in support of the idea. Mayor Doug Jewell said the item would be on the next agenda for finalization. Glenn said she hopes to have the program up and running before the holiday season began. That was in October of 2016. However, that did not come to pass. My concern, and it was at the Street and Public Works meeting, we want to be fair. We don't want people to come to our meeting and make a proposal and they leave thinking that we're going to walk with them in it, and we do not. That is not a good picture for us to paint if we're going to be a great grand lighthouse city. So that's my concern about this free little library and the tutoring box. They're all educational tools, so each one should have been given due diligence, if you will. And we have to keep in mind, I was at the library not too long ago, and they were not in line to check out books. I saw adults there, maybe 3 or 4, and 2 or 3 children. So we want to always reach our children. Education is the open door to knowledge. Reading is the open door to knowledge. We always want to reach our children. We need to be fair when people come to us, whoever they are, and have a proposal. We need to be as fair to one as we are to the other. That's where I am on this. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Ray. Anybody else have any comments? Further discussion?
I'd make a comment, Mr. Mayor. The Little Free Library, the research I've done on that, there are 50,000 Little Free Libraries in the United States and 70 other countries around the world. The Little Free Library has not only been something that has been city-sponsored, but we have seen that individuals in neighborhoods have set up their little free libraries, take a book, leave a book type programs, and it's been very beneficial. What I would hope to envision is that the city would allow this little free library to be established in the city of Grantville for the benefit of the children. And perhaps from that and the developing sense of community that it will bring together, other areas perhaps Individuals will set these up in their own yard. City will allow some type of a permit for that, and reading will become more prevalent among the youngsters here in the city. I think it's a very good thing for the city, and what I don't want to do is I do not want to lose this opportunity that's before us by dwelling on mistakes that have been made in the past, mistakes that can and possibly should be corrected, but to say no to this because of somebody dropped the ball in City Hall and didn't have the other folks come back. Well, this is a free program as well. It doesn't cost us anything. From what I understand, it is the Girl Scouts have elected to take on the responsibility of policing this little free library, to making sure that the books are appropriate and undamaged and stocked, and that's going to provide the Girl Scouts with a sense of responsibility, and it's going to cause them to follow through and do this project well. The other project with the tutoring box was going to require a box and someplace to set it up, and they were going to need power. That's not free. So we're kind of trying to compare apples with oranges here, but the major point is we made a mistake by not following through with the tutorial box type idea. Let's not make a mistake here by saying, no, the children should get no books whatsoever made available through this free program. And thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, anybody else?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I want to be crystal clear. The tutoring box and the Little Free Library, they are both educational tools. So we are all for education. My concern, as I forestated, that we did not handle the tutoring box situation as we should have. We shouldn't just push it under the carpet as if it didn't happen. And sometimes we do need to revisit things to make sure that we don't make the same mistake again. Now, there may be 50,000 Little Free Libraries all over the United States, but how many tutoring boxes do we have? Did you Google that to see how many we have? So my concern is we did not do justice, if you will, to Mrs. Dunn and her staff when we did not follow through on the tutoring box. They are both educational tools.
Anybody else?
Mr. Mayor and council members, I'd just like to point out that I received an email today from Rebecca Davis, and I will read it. The Girl Scouts made a free library and they decorated by the troop. However, the girls we have in Girl Scouts have moved on to other activities in the school system, and Mandy and I were going to be the ones to maintain it. When I say that, I have to reiterate that Rebecca Davis and Mandy Foster have resigned as of September the 1st, 2017. So if the desire is for a tutoring box to be, pardon me, a Little Free Library to be located in the city of Grantville, we will have to look how it's going to be maintained. I don't want anyone to be under the impression that the Girl Scouts are going to maintain it. I don't think that is going to happen. And second, I'd like to point out that the tutoring box was considered by the mayor and city council on October the 4th, 2016, and it was tabled 4-0. So that issue can still be brought forward.
Anybody else? My only concern is, like I said, I do want to be fair to everybody. And you all did table this, and it was to go before the, you tabled it for the prime purpose of taking it before the Recreation Committee. For whatever reason, that never happened. That's why it was never put back on the docket. You know, and now this was gonna be manned by the Girl Scouts, now it's not. Being there's some questions, I would recommend that you all table this once more and, let the recreation and maybe the public works, the whole council get these answers before we just jump into it. It's not, I mean, you know, we have two libraries here, one at the school, and we have one public library here in the city. And from what I'm understanding, all the kids have these tablets now, and you can get most any book you want, what have you. So I just think it would be the right decision to table this once more and try to get more, but it's up to the council.
If it's a question of maintaining a little free library.
You're not acknowledged yet. Let me see if anybody else has.
All right, go ahead.
Now you got it.
If it's a question of who will maintain it, I will maintain it until somebody decides that they want to maintain it. It's checking it for books and appropriateness, and I'm more than willing to step up and do that, to not miss out on the opportunity for us to, one, get free reading information out there. Contrary to popular belief, we do live in a technology age, but I still have school-age children from high school, middle school, and elementary school that still enjoy reading hardback, paperback books, tangible, not scrolling through a screen. Second, for whatever reason, this the little tutoring box fell through. You say it was because it was sent to the Rec Advisory Board and it never came back to us. Well, that seems that we need to discuss that with the Rec Advisory Board as well. Seems that there's more than the burden just being placed on this council. And it's also an opportunity for us to collaborate with the Chamber of Commerce, Leadership Coweta, and outside business partners that want to invest in our community by putting a little free library here. So if it's a question of maintaining it, I'll maintain it.
I don't think that's the only reason that I say that. There were several questions that came up, but like I say, it's up to y'all. I think it should be further investigated. Is there a realistic either buy now or lose? Because I'm hearing if we don't seize on this right tonight, we're gonna lose out.
There was two available when the proposal was made, and there's one gone. So yes, time is of the essence, I would assume.
Two available. in
Two little free
Grantville or
libraries.
the state or what?
Leadership Coweta approached us with two little free libraries. One of those are gone. 2 minus 1 leaves 1.
I understand that. I learned that many, many years ago.
I understand that as well, but what I'm saying is their whole goal in this is to promote this program. And yes, if Grantville doesn't seize on it, I can't say that I blame them for finding somebody who will seize an opportunity.
Well, I don't want to debate it all night, but like one of the citizens here in Grantville called me on the phone and he made a point. He said, you want to put this in the park? He said, they just imagine 4 or 5 children walking through the park. And they look at this little library and then look at the basketball court. Should we read or should we go play basketball? Chances are they're gonna bounce the ball. But anyway, anybody else got any further discussion?
I'm in accord with you that we should table it. I believe we table the tutoring box, and if the Recreation Advisory Board was not contacted about what was expected of them, then they could not respond if they were not informed.
And I don't know whether they were or not, Ms. Hines, to tell you the truth. Any further discussion?
Yes, I have one comment about it. I think we need to go forward with it, but at the same time, get some feedback from some of the citizens where we maybe ought to try it for test trial, maybe put it in one location for a little bit, see how it does, and then put it somewhere else and see what works and what doesn't work. Kind of have a feel for it. That's what I think we ought to do, but as well, we ought to tailor this for further discussion as well.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, we have a motion on the floor. All in favor of the motion signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Ayes have it, so ordered. New business. The Municipal Electric Authority of Georgia Power annual subscription for supplement power authorization agreement. Council needs to authorize for the mayor to sign that agreement. Mr. Greenshade.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Every year, we deal with MEAG Power, and we recommend that we do as we did last year, nominate them to acquire any combination of resources to optimize their supplemental power supply requirements. In that, if we are running a deficit, but someone is with excess power, we go to them and buy the power from them, and concomitantly, if we have excess, that we go to them and sell it and let them use it to go to an entity that has a deficit rather than go out on the open market. We certainly save money in that way, and we would recommend that we designate MEAG as our agent to nominate and acquire any combination of resources, as I said, to optimize their supplemental power supply requirements. And we ask for your approval.
Okay, you've heard the city manager's report. What's the will of the council?
So moved.
Second?
There's a motion to authorize the mayor to sign the annual subscription for supplemental power. And a second, do we have any questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, so ordered. Next order of business, citizens' comments. Do we have any on that? Nobody wants to talk with us tonight? That brings us to council comments. Mr. Gomez.
Yes, I want to say thank you for showing up this evening again. It's always great to see y'all, and hope y'all had a good weekend and all that, and just want to bring up the September 15th or 16th for the chili cook-off, so don't forget about that. So as well, it's going to be a special day because it's B.B. King's birthday, I believe, so that's even awesome. So we're trying to get everything, allocated, straightened up and all that, but hopefully we'll be ready to go. We should have some special guests that day here in the city, so hopefully they'll still commit to that and show up and be able to show their faces so we know who they are. So if you legislative personnel will be here. But definitely, thank you for showing up this evening. So let's move forward into the future all together, and let's work together and stay together and love each other. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Madam. Mr. King.
I thank you all for coming, myself. Sometimes we don't always agree, but I think that tonight we've taken a step forward for the betterment of the city. And I appreciate Ms. Hines' comments, and I understand her feelings. And I'm glad to see that we have acted on what was on the agenda. Perhaps we need to put fixing prior transgressions against others on the next agenda. I'm sure these things can be fixed. But everybody, please try to remember those folks down in Texas. I understand they're going to get a second Wallopin', and I'm sad to see that happen to them. I'm just glad it's not here at our back door. Thank you all, and have a good night.
Thank you, Mark. Ms. Hines?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I will be brief. Blessing to all of you for coming, and I hope you have sweet sleep tonight.
Thank you, Ruby. Mr. Key?
Thank you all for coming.
That's it?
That's it.
Thank you, Bill. I will join with the rest of them. Thank you for coming. And appreciate your support or your not support on the items. But anyway, we thank you for coming, being interested in the city. It is your city, and we want to do your business, at least I do. And I think I speak for the rest of them. That's all I've got to say. Mr. Greasy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council members. Just a friendly reminder that tomorrow we have the Electric Cities of Georgia Economic Development Bus Tour coming to Grantville. They will be at Fraser's on the west side of the building tomorrow, Tuesday, August the 29th, between 2:30 and 3:30. Please come, mill around, meet the folks from the Electric Cities of Georgia and the Georgia Department of Economic Development and the others on the tour. And as a special treat, we will have unlimited supplies of New Orleans style snow cones for everyone.
I'll be there.
That's it.
You can get an orange icing.
Yes, sir, and if I may I borrow your t-shirt, sir? We have t-shirts for the mayor and council and all the employees that say City of Grantville, ECG bus tour, and on the back, Life is Grand in Grantville, and we will be giving a t-shirt to each of the participants on the bus tour to remind them of Grantville.
And Chief, y'all can wear your badges on your belt, don't cover the seal. Okay. Mr. Mitchell, you got anything?
I do not, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Any closed session issue?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I need a motion to go into executive session for personnel issues.
So moved.
Have a motion second? Second. Have a motion second. All in favor? Opposed? We are in executive session.